It looked like the WNBA referees has been put on notice because the WNBA is making big-time hires.
WNBA players are dealing with questionable officiating, where clear flagrant fouls are being overlooked, leaving stars like Caitlin Clark vulnerable on the court. This isn't some far-off dystopian scenario. It's the reality unfolding in the WNBA today.
One thing as a very long-term sports fan I know is that officiating and refereeing is always at the top of a fan's list, of the media's list. Obviously, we work hard on training. We work hard on consistency.
The league has quietly acknowledged the referee crisis and is now scrambling to fix it by hiring 2 new key positions. But here's the catch: it might already be too late. Today, we're diving into the officiating chaos of 2024 and asking the big question: can these behind-the-scenes hires rescue the WNBA? Or are we looking at the final whistle on fair play?
The thing that stuck out amongst the WNBA fans for the 2024 season, and I can't even lie, I have to admit, it is the horrible refereeing that took place on the basketball court. We know there was countless times, countless calls, and hell, they arguably messed up the WNBA Finals this year alone.
Imagine this: Game 5 of the WNBA Finals. The New York Liberty and Minnesota Lynx are locked in an intense showdown. The clock is winding down, every second crucial. Suddenly, a whistle pierces the air, and the arena falls silent. What just happened?
What a terrible way to end this WNBA season.
This moment was more than just a pivotal play. It became the breaking point in a season marred by controversial officiating and mounting frustrations. With only 5.2 seconds left in regulation, the refs called a foul on Lynx forward Elena Smith, sending Liberty superstar Breanna Stewart to the line. But here's the kicker: replays showed Stewart may have traveled before the foul, and worse yet, there appeared to be no contact at all. The free throws tied the game, forcing overtime, where the Liberty ultimately sealed their victory.
And she doesn't just take one extra step. Let's count here how many steps she takes when she gets the ball. I'm gonna put this in slow motion. Okay, so she gets the ball here. She jumps 1, 2, 3, 4. She at least jumps 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh. She at least takes 4 steps at minimum. She might have taken 5.
The WNBA's officiating crisis has reached a boiling point, and Game 5 of the finals was the tipping point. The New York Liberty and Minnesota Lynx were locked in a fierce battle, the clock winding down with just 5.2 seconds left. A whistle blows and the crowd goes silent. The refs called a foul on Lynx forward Elena Smith against Liberty star Breanna Stewart, but there was a problem. Replays clearly showed that Stewart may have traveled before the foul, and there was no contact at all. The free throws tied the game, forcing overtime, where the Liberty clinched the win. After the game, Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve didn't hold back, declaring, "This was stolen from us." Her words echoed the frustration many were feeling as fans and players flooded social media, expressing their outrage over the controversial call. The accusations of favoritism towards the Liberty started to pile up, with Reeve passionately criticizing the officiating and calling for an overhaul of the system. "It's time to change the challenge rules, and we need third-party oversight on these games," she said, pointing to multiple missed calls throughout the season. This wasn't an isolated incident. Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's rising star, found herself repeatedly on the wrong end of missed calls, like in a notorious play against the Connecticut Sun where she was hit hard, but no foul was called. Clark, visibly frustrated, said, "I feel like I'm getting hammered," capturing the essence of what many players were enduring all season. The lack of protection for top players like her wasn't just unfair, it was dangerous. As the pressure mounted, even NBA stars began speaking out, acknowledging the growing concerns about inconsistent and potentially biased officiating. The league's response, or lack thereof, only fueled the flames of conspiracy theories. Fans questioned how refs could consistently miss such obvious calls and why certain teams seemed to benefit from favorable rulings. Then came a shocking moment. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert addressed the media, acknowledging the criticism but offering a response that left many stunned. "They work hard, they're human," Engelbert said of the referees. "Basketball is a little more complex than tennis, for instance," she continued, suggesting that technology wasn't as advanced in basketball officiating. Fans and analysts were bewildered. Was the commissioner out of touch with the severity of the situation? Many began to wonder if her words reflected a deeper issue within the league's leadership. To make matters worse, Engelbert made a public appearance at the championship trophy presentation wearing a dress featuring the New York City skyline. Given the accusations of bias towards the Liberty, her fashion choice struck many as tone-deaf. To add insult to injury, the WNBA's social media team posted, then quickly deleted, a tweet suggesting the Liberty had already won the championship. The social media blunder only intensified suspicion of favoritism, and fans demanded answers. In the midst of this chaos, a surprise development, the WNBA posted job listings for 2 key positions aimed at tackling the officiating problem head-on. The roles were promising, but there was a catch. Could 2 hires truly solve such a widespread issue? The first position was a referee performance and development advisor, tasked with improving referee performance through feedback, observations, and training. The second was a referee operations analyst, responsible for managing data and helping update the rulebook. While these roles sound like a step in the right direction, some fans were skeptical. The NBA, NFL, and NHL all have dedicated departments focused on officiating, with extensive training programs, oversight, and centralized systems. In comparison, the WNBA's new hires seem like a small solution to a much bigger problem. The question remains, will these 2 positions be enough to fix the deep-rooted issues with WNBA officiating? While these new hires are a start, they don't address the bigger picture: player safety, accountability, and transparency. The WNBA needs a complete overhaul, from training to technology to rule enforcement. The question is the league ready to make the necessary changes to restore faith in the game? Caitlin Clark's experience is just one example of how flawed officiating has impacted the season, and it's clear that something needs to change. The WNBA can no longer ignore the growing chorus of voices demanding fair play. If the league doesn't take swift action, it risks alienating its fan base, jeopardizing player safety, and tarnishing the integrity of the game. The ball is in their court. Will they rise to the occasion and make the changes needed to ensure a fair and competitive league for the future? WNBA players are dealing with questionable officiating, where clear flagrant fouls are being overlooked, leaving stars like Caitlin Clark vulnerable on the court.